I wanted to do a review on my 2013 KTM 500 EXE. I bought it about a month ago, bone stock. Um, just doing a real quick rundown of the list of mods that I did. I Before I even rode the bike, I never rode it stock. I went and ordered about $1,200, $1,300 worth of parts on it. As with anything, the FMF Q4, which is a U.S. Forest Service approved screen type spark arrestor, which is a really neat pipe. A little bit quieter than the previous Power Core 4 that I had on my 525, but nonetheless, it's a good pipe, and it worked out real good. In conjunction with that, I went ahead and went with the JD PowerShot fuel injection tuner. You can see it in there. It's underneath the battery. It's pretty simple plug and play. It just plugs into your throttle body, into the fuel injector inline, and that works real good. I put the FMF snap insert, which is pretty cool. It basically creates a vortex, I guess, some sort of vortex to keep the air turbulence down on the intake side of the throttle body, which doesn't give you any overall power, but it definitely helped. Another thing too is these KTM's, this pin, this little push clip, I don't know if it's a bad mold or what, but I ended up backing it out and I put some washers underneath there so that when you go to put this puppy back on, however, it's not extremely easy to go back on, that it actually will go in and stay. The top always goes in fine, but without that little, see, that's how you get it to stay. So just last night I went ahead and put on the Enduro Engineering clutch slave cylinder guard, along with a 14 tooth front, a primary drive O-ring 520 chain, a KTM, a 48 tooth rear sprocket, which running a 1448 I found to be the optimal gear ratio for this bike in the conditions that I ride, which is 20% road, 80% mountainous terrain. So it worked out real nice. I can still cruise about I don't know, maybe 65, 70 without pinning it too hard, tapping it out. As everybody knows, the factory KTM underfender, which I have stored up there, pretty much is goofy and big, and it's pretty crummy looking. So I went with the I want to say it's made by Sikkis, or yeah, it's a Sikkis underfender, KTM Power Sports brand license plate holder, which was pretty cool because it's just got all the hardware. You don't have to drill any holes. It all fits real nice. I went with the Sikkis LED flush mount turn signals, which were really easy to install, and they're going to be out of the way of my pipe and in any branches. I've found that swinging my foot over with the ones that protrude tend to break off and they look goofy. Nobody wants that. So these swing arm protectors were pretty neat for about $26 from Rocky Mountain ATV, and they seem like they wouldn't really, what do you need swing arm protection for? But I've been caught in the rain and I've been coming down the mountain and I've let that front tire kiss the paint, and this bike's gone down. Well, not this one, my previous one, and you'll eat that sidearm up pretty good, so. A couple of must-do mods on these bikes is the smog delete, which is plugging your port here, one in the throttle body, right here. that portion of the head. And rerouting your silicone orange hose that you see there that goes up to the valve cover. That's going to prevent a lot of back pressure popping, and generally it's just going to make for the bike to run much, much better. It's a California emission smog crap. Coming up in the front, you'll know on these factory KTMs when they come out, there's a horn mounted to this bolt, and it sticks out, and it's just asking to get damaged. So what I did was I kind of ran the wires back down under the tank, made a little extension, and now my horn is right there in the middle of kind of in front of the shock. It bolts up real nice using the same bracket that it had onto the bottom of the throttle body. You'll take a big bracket off of here for a PCV when you remove the smog, and that will give you a good mounting point. I found that worked really well. The skid guard was I want to say that was the Enduro Engineering, I can't really remember, but it's the little cam lock front. I've had it on every bike I've ever had, and they're a must-have. You really can't afford to not have one of these because I'm pretty rough. I like rock bashing and hitting trees and whatnot with my case and frame, and it's just, it's good protection for $110. So as far as controls, I got the 1.5" Tusk bar risers in the forward hole. Those are real nice because I'm 6'4", and any type of extension I can get to keep me from arching over is great. So, and of course the KTM factory mirrors had to go because they were just they're hideous. If anybody's ever seen the stock ones, ODI lock-on grips, which are killer because they're a little bit wider. They're good for a big hand. There's no glue. The KTM grip donuts are kind of nice too. Went with the Pro Taper bars just because they were black and they matched, and that's just kind of what I've done on every bike so far. And the lock cylinder on these bikes is normally mounted right down here, and it's kind of inconvenient. It sucks to come down here and do that. So what I'm going to do is I have a jig that I'm making where it's going to mount pretty much right here. The center stem cap will support it here. It'll be made out of aluminum, and it will run right inside there, and it'll be real nice, and it won't hit nothing. It'll be really convenient to use. So that's pretty much it as far as the mods I've done so far. I'm really happy with it. The JD power tuner and the pipe with the FMF snap insert in the airbox have worked wonders for me, and it's insane the amount of power I'm able to get out of this thing. It's almost too much, but that's what I got going on so far. I did these mods. Basically I looked at other mod videos on YouTube and what they had to say and what they did, and kind of went from there. So it's going to be a work in project. There's work in progress, excuse me. There's going to be a lot of different mods I'm going to be doing to it, but from bone stock, $1,200 later, that's pretty much what I got so far. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and happy trails.